we hodl first. You don't need to be a subscriber if you're still hodling. And then we save, and that's how we reward ourselves, because we're hodlers. Every now and again, you have to reward yourself or your family and get some little luxuries that you wouldn't otherwise have. And then the last thing we do is we build it, and that means that we're looking to be entrepreneurs on the Bitcoin standard. So that's why I start out every time. That's our underlying assumptions. And we're having a special show. Apparently we mistakenly tweeted out the show we had yesterday, so I deleted it, but it did turn out to be a really pretty good show. The reason I'm doing it is just kind of hold people's hands, because there's really not anything going on in the Bitcoin market right now. It's just one of these times where, we've got our position on and we just let it ride. So that's basically, where we're at. If you're a subscriber, you should have been long somewhere along way before now. And so it's just a question in here, do you want to trim, which would be a very prudent thing to do to lighten up on your position. The other thing that you can do is just hold. That's what I've elected to do. I have kind of trimmed, but it hasn't worked. I've been trimming by selling the alts. And then the third thing you can do, if you're really super bullish, you can double down in here. But we're in a place in the marketplace where I want other people, let the market decide what it's going to do. We are in the driver's seat. We don't know what's going to happen, but we have a nice profit, and so it should. We don't want to miss out if the thing, continues up. I'm not interested in selling yet. I will be, if we get above 8,000, I'll probably start trimming some of my position. So, all right. So, all right. I'm looking at the questions. I had one guy that asked me a question. We can go look at our position. Of you guys that are not subscribers and you're just kind of checking in, see what this is all about. This is what we do regularly. I have a Ask Ugly Anything, and we do it on a not a daily, but sometimes twice a day. Sometimes we'll skip days. But basically, it's just a member only, where you can ask me things. Most of the material that what I teach is, in fact, all of what I teach is available free, either on the uglyoldgoat.com website or in the Medium articles. There's more on the Medium than the Ugly Old Goat site, because we have to transfer them over, and it's kind of a big job. And we just do it when we can, but we're busy doing other things. This is our new trading room, which we're just now developing. And so we're busy doing that. We are promoting the newsletter because we're going to end the model at the end of this month. We're going to stop the lifetime membership. Until now, all I've offered is a lifetime membership. It's a one-time fee of 0.1 Bitcoin, which right now is about $700. However, you can get a 15% discount as long as you sign up through another member's affiliate code. They get a small reward for finding you, and you get a 15% discount. So it's really only 0.085. That's a lifetime membership. That's my life, not yours. What you get with that is the history of my track record. And I don't know. To the best of my knowledge, I'm the only one that publishes a track record. I've been a successful trader in Bitcoins ever since I got into the market in 2013. In 2017, I was actually in the top 10 of the, what do they call that? Yeah, on BitMEX, and it was the anyway, the big ones, not the one on the bottom, but the one on the top. But so no, let's see, it's somebody. Oh, I'll call that right back. All right, so Yeah, I was on the top 10 of BitMEX, and then I started, that was in 2017. 2018, I really wasn't having a very good year. I did very well in 17. I pretty well got out at the top. And then we had a pretty choppy market. And that's when I started writing my first Medium article. And the first one that I wrote was called Blowing Out of the Market with a Smile. And it just kind of, I emphasize what my emphasis in trading. And if you can't, if you get wrecked, if you don't have a smile on your face, you're over trading. So basically, that's this. And the secret to successful trading, there's three secrets, and you got to get them ingrained in your head. The first one is money management, and then the second one is money management, and then the third one is money management. I know it sounds really redundant, and yeah, I understand that, but you know what? We don't. I can lose it too. You can't make a money management mistake. That's the only fatal mistake. So if you know if you still having difficulty, there's a fourth secret to success, and that's money management. That's going to always be my emphasis. And so my emphasis is don't trade the charts, trade your equity, trade what your net worth is, trade what you have in your account. You should only be trading. Once you get your hodl, you should only trade maybe at the most 5% of your account. And you can do quite well at that. And so that's what I did. I started doing this on Medium and actually made all of my trades public on Medium articles. And I think it was during the summer. And I didn't lose anything all year, but so I was kind of frustrated. But sometimes that's a big victory. So then I decided well, I'll just do this publicly so people can see what I'm doing. And then I did catch the move in 2000 and that would have been 2018 from 3,000 or from 6,500 down to 3,500. We can probably pull up the chart.
Hold on.
So I started publishing it with just 2 Bitcoin in the account. And by the end of the year, I picked up, taken out 22. And of course, I still had the original 2. And then I continued trading. And I got, I actually went to Unconfiscatable Conference. That was in 2019. And everybody was pretty bearish, thinking the market was going to break through 3,000. And I said, well, no, I don't think it is because of backwardization in the market. I said, I don't think it's going to break through 3,000. I was very bullish then. And I did get wrecked on driving back from Vegas. But then, of course, I stepped right back into the market and did quite well. I opened up on my way back too. I also, because we logged into BitMEX from the United States, they closed my account. So I had to open up a new one where I can't because I'm a U.S. citizen, but my wife did. She's Mexican, and we live down here in Mexico. So anyway, she opened an account with 2 Bitcoin in it, and I just decided to publicly send people my CSV files regularly. And so we did, and then subscribers at the time, that's when we started the newsletter, we started the website, we started the lifetime subscriptions. My life, not yours. Hopefully, if I live a few more years, it'll be a bargain. If I drop dead tomorrow, I got the best of you guys. So, but I plan on being around. I've got a lot to live for, and I've got 3 children at home and a lovely wife, so I'm not planning on going anywhere. I don't have to be doing this. I'm doing it because I want to help you guys out. I do know what I'm doing. My next article was kind of my flagship article, and that is how you can profit like a large trader without taking the inherent risks. And basically what I did then was I outlined the strategy of dollar cost averaging. I was the first one, I think, that really emphasized that and showed how it worked. Since then, fortunately, a lot of people have picked up on it now. That know there's actually we put a link on that. There's one website that shows you the actual results. You can choose how much you can dollar cost average. You know, you can do it on a daily basis, a weekly basis, monthly. I always just showed it on a monthly basis. So and now there's even an exchange that's opened up or will be opening up called Swan. And I need to open an account with them because they sound really good. They claim they're going to be Bitcoin only, and you can sign up with them and have implement a dollar cost averaging program. Guys, what is the best exchange to use and why? Well, to me, the best, that's going to depend upon where you live and who you are and all of that. To me, the only exchange is BitMEX because I'm a trader. I haven't bought Bitcoin for probably 2 or 3 years. I used to arbitrage, buy it and then sell it. I'd arbitrage between exchanges, but just got to be too big a hassle with all I've had like 5 or 6 bank accounts closed down. Perfectly legal to do, but the banks don't want to deal with it because it generates what's called a suspicious activity report, which they don't want to deal with. So I kind of don't do that. There's a number of decent exchanges out there. I don't recommend any of them. I'm looking forward to maybe recommending this new one, Swan. I did try trading on, I did write a review in one of my newsletters on Deribit and Bybit. And, you know, they're okay. They're just, I think Deribit's a better platform than the Bybit. So I think that would be okay. And I'm not sure, they have futures on Deribit and they have options, which I do not recommend options because it's a sucker's bed. It's kind of like, you know, if you gamble going and playing slot machines, it's not, unless you write options, you need to stay away from them. So I don't have a recommended exchange. I really don't, except, you know, I do have a recommended exchange if you live in Mexico. I live in Mexico, so the useful exchange that I have that use is Bitso, which is a top-notch exchange. It usually right now it's trading about $1,000 higher than the world markets and the U.S. dollar market. So it's a very when I sell my Bitcoin, I want to sell it here in Mexico, and then I run the proceeds in cash across the border because I live close to the border. And you know, you have to declare it if you take over $10,000 at a time. But that's the way I do it. But I do not recommend Coinbase for a number of reasons I'm not going to go into. But I think Kraken. I was never impressed with their platform, but I have used Kraken. I have used Bitfinex. I've never used Binance. And I'm looking forward to the Swan. I don't know if you can take delivery on Deribit or not. I'm just not sure. Like I said, I haven't bought Bitcoin forever because for years because I don't need to. So I trade it, and so we go from there. So anyway, well, I started this on February of 2019. Then publishing trades, starting the newsletter, and we started with a lifetime subscription. At the time, because it was a whole new concept, we actually were selling for about half the price, about a I think 0.5 Bitcoin, but that was just for the first month or two, and then we doubled the price where I knew it had to be. So now, and we've added a lot more features. We have a developed website. I do these YouTubes. Guys, I made my reputation not through YouTube or anything else, not doing this. My bones were made with writing articles in Medium. So I do recommend that you check those out or check out the website. And so.
Yeah, I'm actually going to post a link to the top articles that you have on the website.
Okay.
You have a little blog there, and there's some excellent articles there. So I'll share it on the YouTube feed right now.
Yeah, and then what was I going to say? So we started with 2 Bitcoin in February 4th, and I published it, all my winning and losing. And guys, you're not going to learn much from my winning trades because they're winners. And just right now, I'm on a winning trade. I'm just riding with it. What you're going to do is you're going to learn a lot from my losing trades. And you're going to learn a lot from the things that I just do habitually that other people don't do. I've been wrecked twice this year on BitMEX, but never to the point. You never have enough on the exchange where it hurts you. And if you do get wrecked, you immediately send more funds in. You also reduce your size of your trading. For example, this last year, 2019, I started with 2 Bitcoin, and by the end of the year, I had withdrawn 32 Bitcoin. I started January 1st with 0.6 Bitcoin. And since that time, I have withdrawn 6 Bitcoin. So I've done 10x. That was until April 10th. At April 10th, I cut back my position to another 0.6, and we've almost 10x it again.
Mhm.
I also was experimenting on Deribit and Bybit, and I think I picked up another 4 Bitcoin there. But I'm not
And you
including
publish
that
your
much.
trades, like you
Yeah,
publish.
I publish
Yeah.
those on the newsletter. The other thing that you get if you subscribe, you're gonna get all my past newsletters with all the past CSV files. So you can actually do an analysis of my trade. We have a young man, Victor Villacana, who's actually designed an equity app. So you can actually load all of my trades and all of your trades into the equity app and actually do like a sequential 9 on your own equity, which I think the most important box on BitMEX is their margin box, because that way you can look at your own equity. Again, the markets can go like this and go all over the place, but they really have no effect on your life. The only thing that really affects your life is your own equity. So that's what you want to be trading. You don't want to have to be worried about the charts. I mean, that's fine. But my emphasis is number 1, money management. Number 2 is fundamentals. And I'm fundamentally bullish on Bitcoin. That's the number 1 market in the world. I think it's already revolutionized because it's decentralized and because it's 24/7. A young men like Arthur Hayes have been able to revolutionize the financial markets to the point that the major exchanges like Chicago Merc and Board of Trade really can't compete with what's out there. It had growing pains. There were people that lost. I lost on everything on Crypto and a couple other exchanges. These go out of business. I got the haircut on Bitfinex. I actually got hacked on my Bitso account. It wasn't really their fault, but my email got hacked, and we didn't have all the security that we have there now. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Right now we can pull up the current account. Let's see. Can you pull up the screen share, and we'll go to
On BitMEX or
yeah, go to
TradingView?
BitMEX so people can see what we're doing.
Right on.
Okay. So I started this account on April 10th and with 0.6 Bitcoin, and pull it down a little bit so you see that margin box. The most important thing in
Oh, hold on, they're not seeing it yet. Let me
Okay.
do screen share. All right, you should be able to see it now.
The most important thing, as far as I'm concerned, is not the chart. It's that little box that says margin on it. And you'll see that it says margin balance. Now that has a margin balance now of 5.78 or almost 5.8. I started this account with 0.6 on April 10th, and now we're almost 10x. Now I did, because my position could have gotten stopped out, I did temporarily add 2 Bitcoin to it just to suffer through one of the sell-offs that we had. It was never in jeopardy. I think it went down a little bit under the 2. But then immediately, as the market recovered, and I was looking for a sell-off. What happens is, the way I teach people is I measure a trend by the 2-week high. We took out the 2-week high, and then the first time that we took out the previous week's low, I was a buyer, and it actually went down there twice. The second time it went down there and made another new low. Then the last little hit I added on the way up, and then the last little hit we barely went below the previous week's low before. Now you raise up your stop. I mean, right now, are we still looking?
We're still good. Sorry, I just
Are we
kinda
looking at?
moved
I don't
things
think
a
we're
little
looking
bit.
at.
Yeah, I just wanted to
BitMEX.
show them the USD chart, but we can go back to
Okay, yeah.
this.
do that. Let's go show them the positions that we have on.
All right.
Scroll down.
Gotta do screen share here. Hopefully I didn't unplug anything.
Yeah, just scroll down a little bit on the chart so it shows the positions. All right. All right. So you can see what I have on. I've got about 310,000 Bitcoin. And last time we were on, I actually did a trade because people wanted to see, I said, well, I didn't really want to, but I did. And I held on to it. I actually bought another 10,000 down there and just scalped it. But if the only thing that I've changed a little bit is I have added to my XRP short, which has done nothing but gone against me. I did do it. And guys, you're going to catch on my mistakes too. I actually meant to sell 30,000 more and I only sold 3,000 more, but it was so strong. I said, you know what? And I got some orders placed way up there now in case it goes up. I am looking to sell the alts against my long position. And I'm also looking to trim. If you're tuning into this, you're not going to understand what I'm talking about. I do recommend the books that I recommend are on the website
and on the links below in the about page of the recommended books.
Yeah, and I would recommend that you read the one that's called The Art of Execution. It's really an
excellent book.
Yeah, it's really a good book. It teaches what I teach. It's written not by a trader. Well, he's a trader in a sense. He's a money manager. He manages billions of dollars, and he would select people to trade for him or for his clients. And what he did is just do a study of those that were consistently winners and those that were not. And he identified them as the ones that constantly lose their rabbits. And then I think he calls one assassins, and I'm not sure what he called the other ones, hunters or something like that. But at any rate, very, very good study. I also recommend a book called from an old timer called Ted Warren, and I think he's kind of outlines a very simple technique that is time tested. And is also the basis for Tyler Jenks' Hyperwave book, which I have not read yet, but I'm familiar with the whole theory. So I do recommend those. And also Larry Williams, he has a lot of information there. A lot of it's not good, but there's some really good stuff in there. So,
right, you go ahead.
Okay, my amplitude says sounds like I have sinus or something. Sound is wahing.
Wahing. Yeah, I mean they can hear you, but the new microphone. So here's the thing: you gotta put the microphone a little bit closer to your face. Maybe move that filter out. I don't think it's doing anything.
All right.
And then it has to be pointed at you.
Like that? How's that, guys?
Put it a little bit lower. Like that.
All right. How's that?
All right, we'll see if that works. I mean, that's the best we can do right now, and we'll have a couple new toys, but it'll keep improving. I promise you guys that.
Yeah, I mean, all this is going to get better because Juan is here. That's what he's kind of taking. It's Juan and not Juan. It's right. Juan in Espanol. So.
That's right. I'm the number one.
So anyway, that's the story. They can see where everybody wants to see where I have my orders placed, but these are really irrelevant. These are just scroll down and one. Sure. Yeah, just scroll down. They can see where I have my. You screen shares?
It's a little hard to do screen share now.
Oh, okay.
But I'll figure that out too. So there we go. So you want to see?
Yeah, they should show where I'm. If you see, my outlook on this market hasn't changed. If it goes up over 9,000 this month, and we only have 2 or 3 days left, I think the last day of the month is Thursday. I will give most or all of it back and go a little bit short. If we grind up through this thing, I'm not too interested in selling at all, and then I'll show you why. So there's some of my orders. You can make that bigger so I can see some of my other orders. Can you know how to do that?
Scroll down, yeah.
That box down, that big box, just make it bigger.
Yep.
So they can see all of them. I mean, you can kind of see, I got to keep going, just scroll down on it now. Yeah. You can see most of my orders I want to sell over. The chances of me getting filled on those, nil. But you know what? If you want to take advantage of those spikes, you have to have some high ball and low ball orders in there. So you can kind of see what I'm doing. So we're going to be, one of the features that we're going to be working on is, and I guess Juan's working on that, is somehow when I'm trading, you'll actually be able to see what I'm doing when I'm doing it. So
yeah, we're kind of talking about like doing like a copy trading kind of Telegram channel situation. Talking with Joe Sass, that's kind of working on something like that. It's not final yet, but we're exploring that. It's kind of an interesting option where you don't have to. Nobody's taking custodial risk here. Nobody's taking anybody else's risk on other than like obviously what you're putting on your own account to trade. And if you're following the money management stuff that Ugly's teaching, then you shouldn't have a ton of money in there anywhere, or so much that you can't.
Yeah, any of you guys who want to post your affiliate codes, go ahead.
Yeah,
Because the whole thing is, anybody that's listening for the first time, if you sign up through one of the members, you'll get a 15% discount. So go ahead and use that. I did put mine on this broadcast, but use somebody else's. I really, this whole referral program is meant for you guys, and I have a number of people that have already signed up. Enough people that they get the newsletters free for them. So that's the deal. So why am I long both the spot and the futures? Because I'm bullish. Okay. And now if we go up, if you look at those sell orders that I had in there, I will be net short the perpetual, the spot market against the futures. There's no reason to think this thing's overbought at all. They're all trading at about the same price. There's no contango here. The only thing is that people are afraid to buy it. I mean, everybody's pretty well bought in, but the people are sitting on the sidelines. They're hoping that we break. If we don't break, then they're going to have even a worse choice. What do they do now if we go up over 8,000 or over 9,000? Now yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Go to the monthly up there. Just go to the monthly.
Yep. Just give me a second here.
Just hit that M up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Guys, one of the things that I teach is not where the market's going. I don't have a clue. The question you should always be asking yourself is, what am I going to do if it gets there? So here we go. If you see, we've got a green one going on the monthly, don't we? And we're almost at the end of the month. So now if we pop up real quickly over that red one, I'm going to give it all back. But if we grind our way up and we get a green 2 over green 1, I'm really not, I'll probably just hang on there and not do anything because there's no reason to get out of this thing. One of the things you have to learn is how to hold on to a winning position and to really profit. If you go back there and look, okay, we can go back there and look at, put it on weekly. And go back there go back to where we had the big run up from 7,500 to 20,000. Let's back there some more. There we go. I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah. All right. So here you go. This was, one of my seller years. I was in the top 10 of the, I forgot what it is.
The BitMEX sort of.
BitMEX. Well,
show them
go to BitMEX for a minute and then remember the name. I can't go to that and go down to hit more details down at the bottom. Okay, now hit scroll up, hit leadership board. Yeah. Okay, I was at the top 10 of the notional traders. I was in the top 10. I think it was number 8 or 9 or 10. I don't remember what position it was. But at that time, like I'd made about 450 Bitcoin. And so I would not be up there now because there are a lot of big traders that come in there, and it all depends on how good they are. It's not if they, if they're, for example, if you're at 2,000 Bitcoin, but you started with 2,000 Bitcoin, you've only doubled your fund. So I started with a very small amount and ran it up to over 400. Now go back to that weekly chart where you're looking at. So you need to learn to stay in winning positions. You go back there to 2017 when you had that sell-off on see the 6 where it took out the previous week's low. It did not take out the 2-week low. That 6. Do you see it?
This guy right here?
No, the other. Keep moving. The
left or right?
The other way.
The other way.
On the markup phase, right
Here,
there. Okay.
right there, that
All
way.
right. Now, a lot of people got stopped out there, and then the market went up. And in just a few weeks, it went from 7,500 to 2,000. It tripled in price. So you don't want to miss out on that kind of a move. So you do need to learn to, ride a trend. And it's hard. It's hard to do, but you can do it. So that's why I'm here now, because I don't want people to panic or anything. This is not, I mean, we're in the driver's seat. What's going to happen? I don't know. I got no clue, but we can go back now. I'll give some of this back if we have a sharp rally up, but I'm not too interested in doing it if we slow grind and just take out this month's high next month. If we take out March highs now, I'd be very interested in selling.
All right. Anything else you want to kind of show before we take some questions?
No,
Any
that's
questions
fine.
in
I
the
think we're
chat? Yeah.
done. I kind of, if you want to listen to that, well, they can't because I took it down off Twitter. But I covered all the stuff in the last.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, you had that's you do a lot of subscriber only news live streams and stuff. So they gotta subscribe to get that.
Do I think it's possible to write a program? I don't know, because I'm not a programmer, but yeah, we've been thinking about it. It's one thing that I think Victor's been talking. He's a programmer and he wants to do it. He thinks he wants to write a program using just using money management only and doing random trades, which
Very interesting.
I don't know if it will work or not. I'm
That's
not a
an
big
interesting
bot fan.
Experiment.
Well, I am a bot fan because I love bots, because bots get wrecked and goats like to eat wrecks. So that's it. Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
did bring these guys, but the goat lady.
yeah, that's
We're
right.
busy again. I try to teach everything. The whole thing is we all need to become Bitcoin entrepreneurs, and we just have a booming business now. Here's my daughter's. She loves this one. It's frozen. And we've got a million designs. Here's one
That's
that
my
has
favorite.
the coronavirus right on it.
That's great.
It's got one with some big lips on it. The problem is
There's a
only
SpongeBob
can
one.
get two, because as soon as she makes these, they're sold. She's got, I think, 15 people working for her now.
Yeah, they're
She's had two or three, a few.
wash them and stuff.
Yeah, these are washable and everything.
Okay. So I'm gonna start going through the questions from the top to the bottom. There's a few up there that are kind of buried now. It says, nice one, ugly. A big wave from Dublin, Ireland. Love your Bitcoin and Friends appearance. So you appeared on the Bitcoin and Friends show, which is an online sort of graphic series or sort of animation series.
Cartoon
Telling the story of Bitcoin, and it's very interesting. Go check it out. BTC and Friends on YouTube. We got about 4 episodes. It's kind of like the South Park of YouTube. Big fan, and shout out to Robert and the team. They're doing a great job over there. Here's another question. Do you use this is by Eric Greco. Do you use the AMA, the 20 AMA on the daily to place trades on Bitcoin?
I don't use moving averages.
Yeah, the ones you see on that trading view are just there by default.
If you notice, and I'm not against them. It's just that I'm not, maybe the 200 day is meaningful, and I'm just not a moving average guy. They tend to be, people tend to use moving averages. They tend to be breakout buyers, and that's just not my style. So I'm not, the one that really outlines moving averages, and the best that I've ever seen was Tyler Jenks, and he actually had a whole system they called Consensio. So if you want to look into that, I would do it that. I mean, sometimes I'll look at them. I think what I find more interesting is that stop and reverse, because I find it's a better timing mechanism to fade. If you want, put on Bitcoin Wisdom, and we can show how that works. Can you put on Bitcoin Wisdom?
Sure.
Just we'll share the screen with. There, just hit that one down there.
Which chart do you want?
30 minutes.
30 minutes perpetual?
Yeah,
Bitcoin?
That's fine. Or you can use any of them. You can use, they all are about the same.
Hold on, we're lagging. Lagging. Don't lag me, bro.
Okay. All right.
You said the 30 minutes?
Yeah,
There we go.
30. That's
Perfect.
good. That's good. That's which one is that?
This is XBT USD perpetual. That's a 30-minute chart.
How do you, which one is it? I can't see. The screen is right where you, I think. Can you move that our picture down that way?
This thing?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. That's Bitmex. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. So just look at this thing. I mean, here's the deal. You want to make sure you're in the trend, which the trend is definitely up. Okay. But when you go into these trading ranges, every time that's the stop and reverse. And if you look at that, every time it's a great time to trim. For example, if you bought the dip, well, let's just give me the arrow and I'll.
Sure.
We'll start here. Right here. And I know I bought this one. The first time you break after a big run up like that, you can buy it. And I know I bought this one too. When you have this break, I know I bought this one. But this break, you definitely can buy. Then if you're looking to trim, when this is stop and reverse. Now the breakout buyers want to buy this. Well, I don't, because 90% of the time it's going to reverse. And so you sell it up here and then you buy it back here. And then you sell it here and you buy it back here. You see how that works? And you actually fade the whole system. But you want to stay. So what?
Oh, you're not talking into the mic.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry.
But they could hear you.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm leaning over. So basically what you use that stop and reverse for trimming. And so I never dumped my position, but those spikes you can certainly use as good. And people ask me, well, where do you trim? Well, there's no magic to it. You just want to sell rallies, and you're trimming so you take some home. So if it reverses against you, you're not going to go back to where you were. Even if the market goes back to where you started, you're going to have more than when you started. So that's the whole deal. What's message retracted mean?
Oh, that's Eddie over there typing stuff. I don't know what
Oh, okay.
It was just probably telling you to talk to the mic.
Okay. All right. What are my thoughts on Litecoin? I don't have any thoughts except, I sold it and made some money going short. Litecoin is not, look, there's only one innovation, and that is Bitcoin. And you need to get that through your head. If you think you're investing by hodling Litecoin, you're not. You hodl Bitcoin. You want to trade Litecoin, there's nothing wrong with that. I traded. You can trade Ethereum. But if you want to know why Bitcoin is the only sound money, then I would recommend you read Knut Svanholm's books, both of whom are linked on. I haven't finished the second one yet, but they're both excellent. And then he will outline exactly to you why Bitcoin is the only innovation. All the rest are wannabes. And Bitcoin is our hope, and the competition, market competition needs to be on Bitcoin, not between competing standards. Bitcoin is the standard because it is the longest chain with proof of work, unconfiscatable, with a what is that? The ratio.
The stock to flow ratio.
Yeah, with the stock to flow ratio, that's just unbeatable. So there's really, it is the innovation. Nothing else is an innovation. They're wannabes that have to say, well, we have more bells and whistles, but they don't understand that, gold doesn't have any bells or whistles. I mean, the only bell or whistle gold has was, you can make a little circular disc out of it, planchets, and strike coins out of it. But it was used as a standard. And the standard, again, most people they were on the gold standard, but they never owned gold. The gold was owned, and it was it could be used as cash, but rarely was used as cash. So the standard was made on, people were using gold, didn't even know it because they were on a gold standard. Everything was priced in terms of gold.
Well, yeah, and then the other thing is, even if you could come up with an altcoin that had like an even higher or less stock to flow ratio than Bitcoin, which is just sort of, it wouldn't be difficult to create an altcoin with that. It would still not have the, the decentralization and hashing power that Bitcoin has, and the amount of nodes on the network, and the sort of hardened community, right? And the amount of investment, the amount of liquidity. Like there's just so many things that Bitcoin has going for it that it seems very difficult that anything can compete, let alone catch up. Except, maybe some of the sort of big players out there. Like I think gold's probably going to keep going strong for a while, but that's
well, I see gold. I see gold is playing a crucial role because I think governments, if we run a course on this, there's going to be a demand for sound money, and the only sound money that governments can provide is going to be gold, because the cryptocurrency really doesn't work for governments because of the privacy issue, and how do you keep, how does the government keep those keys? With all the corruption, that they'll get hacked. So gold is, I think, is very suitable. And I also believe that it's very possible, and what a wonderful world will be if we see, governments restore the gold standard, and those government gold standards then compete with Bitcoin. The difference is the Bitcoin will have no borders, and the gold will. And that just like under the old gold standard system, every currency had its own definition of what their currency was in terms of gold. But it's still, physical gold, because it's physical, is very suitable for nation states because they have physical boundaries. But the Bitcoin standard, we don't. That's the beautiful thing. We may not be able to escape tyranny or oppression, but our wealth can, and that changes the whole game, guys. That changes the game, and it actually puts us in a position of bringing integrity back into our governments and back into the marketplace.
Right. Okay, so another comment here that was nice. God bless Ugly and his family. This is Mark Perella. Thank you, Mark. There's another question here. We had our Flying W, which is very bullish. We look to still be highly correlated to the rest of the traditional financial markets concerning fiat liquidity. What will it take to break away? Let me know if you want to chart on that.
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, you actually had a dream, which I don't think it's that far fetched, that just all of a sudden you wake up and Bitcoin's at 30,000.
Yeah.
It happens in a matter of hours or days.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that on the downside. I mean, we literally, in a course of just a few days, went from 10,000 to 3,200. So, believe me, when it goes the other way, it's going to even be a wilder ride. And you haven't seen anything yet, guys. This whole thing on the Corona thing, this is pretty well all nonsense. Not that the virus is real. You take precautions, but I almost tweeted this out just today. The president ordered that the slaughterhouses remain open. Well, why is that even a government decision? I think that the people that are slaughtering the animals can make that decision depending upon their own ability to handle the virus, and also make hamburger or sausage or whatever it is, or T-bone steaks. This is the difficulty that we're coming through, and it doesn't matter which tyranny we have, whether it's Joe Biden or Donald Trump. It's tyranny is tyranny. What the coronavirus has accomplished under Trump, what could never have been accomplished and wanted to be accomplished by Bernie Sanders
Barney
and some of the other socialist Democrats,
Yeah.
and it's being accomplished through the right wing guy. So that should be raising all kinds of questions. I know that I tweeted out Tyler Swopes, who's Crypto Chico. He just did a very good analysis, I think, of where we're at. Uh, I think that on my studies, the biggest problem we have is, not the coronavirus, but all the government responses to this thing. It's going to be devastating. There's no way, and this most similar thing that we did that I was finding in 1923, the French armies invaded Germany because they wanted paid their reparations and were getting paid. And the way the Weimar Republic responded is said, well, okay, we can't do anything. You disarmed us. We can't do anything against your army. So they told the people, go ahead and go to work, just don't produce anything. And that's what they did. And then the following, they went into a hyperinflation, and far more people starved to death. 146 people were killed by the French army. And there's no statistics on how many deaths were caused by that hyperinflation the following year. That's the problem that's coming. You know what? You cannot eat virtual food, guys. We're sitting here doing these Zoom meetings, all this, but if you're, if you do have to raise the beef, you do have to, raise the grain, you do have to keep the supply chains open, and we're not doing that. You've seen pictures of crops being turned down because there's no way to get them to the market. This is all going to come back to bite us, and bite us really, really hard. And those of us who have protected themselves through with Bitcoin, we're going to be the ones that I don't want to say we're in the driver's seat, but we're going to be providing. Look, we just had some good friends of ours that are here now working with us because they both are out of work and they spent the last of their funds on groceries this week. And so the best thing that I can do is, as a responsible hodler, is at least those around me, keep them employed that we can do productive things. So Juan and I are doing this, but we got a whole lot more people that are over there, making masks and we're able to do it just because of a blessing, because we wanted to be completely legal in Mexico, but there were so many obstacles. We never could get properly registered. So we're in a gray area. We're not registered, but we're not unregistered. So, until they say no, we're making masks. And there's a huge demand out there. We can't make enough of them. And so it's just crazy the way things are going right now. But remember, you can't eat virtual food. You can't. It's not going to make you fat. So, and there's some big market allocations. We just bought what's the thing you're doing? I guess there's a big demand now for
virtual chat. Yeah, so we're
working on a virtual chat.
Yeah, working on a VR chat. So I'm creating a virtual reality sort of world, basically like trying to provide a space for people to hang out and meet while we're in quarantine, and beyond that, since all the conferences are basically canceled for the next year probably. So this is going to be a space where you can actually come and meet in real life, and well, in virtual reality, be dressed as a banana or as ugly old goat if you want, and hang out in a cool trippy space. That's the idea. But yeah, I mean, like, this is sort of, it's feeding a social.
So we're
movement.
getting these eyeglasses where you can be, you can be in the space in an easier way. But there's a big demand for those now, so the price is almost doubled. But that's probably, I'm sure that's a very temporary situation, because one thing that's going to happen is it's going to be a wake up call. I mean, lifestyles, I think, will change a lot. People are dependent on eating out at restaurants a lot, and incomes are going down. You know what? We might learn to cook again.
Yeah.
American women might learn how to make apple pie again, like grandma and mom used to make.
Could you even imagine that?
So I guess not everything bad's going to come out of it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to improvement on apple pie. All right.
We got a ton of questions, so I'm just gonna hit one here that was just posted that was interesting, and you kind of touched on the topic just now. This is Hi Ugly. This is by Mr. Mick. I have a question that is doing my head in and it's too long for one post. When you say that you are quote in the driver's seat now and others are in a quandary if they should enter the market or not, is that not just a psychological difference?
Yeah,
Or
it is.
okay,
But
can you give some examples,
that's a
please?
whole game, guys. You have to be in a point where you're not devastated. You know, if you look, there's no excuse if you, and because I get some, I'm going to be writing an article. A guy wrote me, I gave him a free, I said, hey, if I can use your example, I'll give you a free membership. And so he's agreed. And I haven't, I got a lot of different irons on the fire, so I haven't got around to it yet. But basically, there's no reason for you to get wiped out in the markets if you're managing your funds. If you get wiped out, and particularly now, foreseeably, you could do it if you're trading on the regulated exchanges. For example, if you were long oil and it went to negative and you couldn't get out, I don't know how fast it dropped down there, but I know, back when the silver market collapsed, we'd go into fast markets. You could not get out. You have limits. So you can lose more than you put on an exchange on traditional exchanges. Guys, that can't happen on the modern exchanges that are socializing losses now, like BitMEX and where they're derivatives. And this came about because of Bitcoin, and because Bitcoin is decentralized, you have the growth in decentralized. Well, they're not decentralized exchanges; it's a centralized exchange, but they're unregulated exchanges, and those unregulated exchanges have created innovations, market innovations that simply did not exist before. 24/7 markets, guys. We didn't have them before. Exchanges put limits on it. They put limits on how far, they have these what market trips. We used to call them limits, and now they call them something else, short circuits or whatever. And we didn't do that in Bitcoin. Bitcoin was free to fall. We got the panic all out. And, if you notice, Bitcoin was the first thing to bottom. Yeah. It was the first, and it's never been back there. When the stock market crashed, and then it rallied a bit and then crashed to a lower level. Bitcoin didn't. It just went down. And now it's reversed. Where it's going from now, I don't know. But people asked me the other day, well, what do I do? And I can't help you guys. I do I tell you what I'm doing. I don't know where the market's going. Never do. I can tell you my position. So my best advice was, if you want to buy it in here, you can buy, put a stop in there. At the time I said buy, put a stop below the 2-day low, which that's going to move up. We can pull up the chart, Bitcoin wisdom chart. That's good. And you can go to the daily. Go to the daily. All right, that's it.
There we go.
So now you see, can you make it a little bigger? You can actually move that stop up. Okay, your 2-day load got moved up some more. So now if you want to buy this thing, just use a close stop. Use that low in there, 76.25. Now,
gotta make sure you're talking to the mic.
Okay, yeah. Now the way I always look at that, to me, 2-day candles are either, and I like 30-day. It's either it's either break through there and crash the crap out of it, or it's going to go down there and break through it and reverse. That's just the way I look at it on the 2-day high. And I do the same. You can go back. I like it on the 30-minute too. But that's the way I kind of look at the thing. So, if you really are afraid you're going to miss out the boat, I guess that's how I would play it. But you know what? We've been long this thing since 3,200. And we have a whole newsletter that I wrote about that. If you subscribe
during this live stream, it's going to be great.
Yeah, if this thing, and who knows? I don't know what's going to happen, guys. I really don't. This thing could just skyrocket here at the end of the month, or it could just fizzle and break. I mean, you can see this as well as I am. You got all these buyers now. So you tell me, do we have to take these late buyers now out, or do we have a bunch of people that that number one have shorted this thing, anticipating that, or that, you know, we're waiting on the sidelines and they want this thing to break one way or another before they participate. So I don't know. I mean, the thing is, this is not a place to trade. This is a place where, you know, if you've been long, great place to take some profits, to trim, uh, or take money out of the account, and then move up your stops. You know, if you, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not going to move up stops or anything like that. I'm just going to ride this thing out for now.
Cool.
So
it's a great,
that's it.
Great stuff, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. We got 60 people, well, 55 watching live right now. I think we peaked at like 73 or so. So we got 11 likes. So hit that like button, guys. Help us get out there, get more people to watch this, and we'll get better comments or more comments. Not all the comments are excellent, but we can get even more. And we got to get to some of these questions. Yeah, so
I see the 2-week high and 2-week low. I've written about that a number of times. You can check it out in the various newsletters. It is not a place to buy or sell. I use it as a way of measuring trend. That's all it is. It's purely subjective. It's just the way I measure the market. You don't have to follow my ways. You can pick your own. I use the previous 2 weeks, not the previous 14 days. I go back. In other words, I would look at these days this week don't count. I go back to the previous 2 weeks. That's the way I look at 2-week highs and 2-week lows. But it's always, for the most part, when you do that, you run through stops and you're either going to continue the trend or you're going to reverse. And then if you continue the trend, you're looking for a pullback. It's just, guys, there's no, every market is different. That's just one tool that I use. It's just a way that I visualize the market. It's not an entry point. It's simply I don't know, maybe a guide. It tells me, it's the way I'm looking at the market. And, you know, once you go into the market phase, that's the most difficult. The most difficult phase was the phase we had last June when you run up very sharply, or the phase that we had back in November and December of 2017, when you went from 7,500 to 20,000. That is the hardest part of the market, is exiting. Because you don't know, you don't want to exit too quickly. You want to always have your position. That's why I'm a big believer in trimming. I sell on the way up, because boy, once that thing starts down, you don't want to be selling it. So trimming is very, very important. Beautiful. There we go. Well, there we go, guys.
I knew that was going to break out. That's fucking great.
Well, I didn't. I had no clue. It could have gone either way. But at any rate, I don't have any sell. I don't have anything to sell up there.
Beautiful. 79.
Well, let's see. What I will probably do is put it on my BitMEX account. Let's see how much my equity is going up. All right, there it is. I've made 10x now, guys. Awesome. I'm at 6.2. Now let's see where my the other thing I want to be looking at is how I really want to sell some more of that XRP. I think I missed the boat on it. Okay, go up here.
Ripple.
Ripple.
Look at Ripple.
Where is it? Hit that perpetual chart.
Yeah, it's on the perpetual right now.
Okay, go to
the
1 minute.
Close to that.
Oh, no, I'm way up there. I got some orders way up there to sell.
Oh yeah.
Can you see those?
It looks like you got a buy order.
I might be selling some up here. Hit that. Here, let me give me the button.
You got the button.
All right. Whoops.
Oh.
Whoops. What's all this?
You're gonna have to move that thing. I can fix it.
Move what? Yeah, fix it. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, we just moved everything. Sorry about that, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, you got the power now.
And this Ripple Ripple keeps going up too. So I might be selling some Ripple. I got some way high orders on the Ethereum too. Where's Ethereum? So I'm looking to sell Ethereum. Ethereum's okay. Ethereum's over 200. I don't have any orders. I don't have any orders till way up there. But if this thing pops up, I want to sell that Ethereum. I want to sell that Ripple. Let's see where I am. I'm not that far away on Ripple.
Yeah, you're getting close on Ripple.
We go. What is the two? Oh, I can do 1 minute.
There we go.
I didn't. No, I didn't quite make it. All right. Now I'm way up there. 20, 27. I'm way up there. I'm not going to get selling anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, during the breakout, you see how it kind of goes contrary. Bitcoin now is up. Okay. Bitcoin's up 1.5%. Ethereum's up almost 3%. Ripple's really up there. Oh, Bitcoin's falling off now. So maybe that's it for Bitcoin. Okay, guys, this could be a, you've seen these before where you break out real hard and now you come back down. And that's where we could be. So boom, look at it go down.
And the back down it goes. Yeah. Bitcoin do not care. Look at that. People are gonna buying it up. That's great.
So it could be a major reversal. See, you don't want to buy these breakouts, guys. You want to be a seller. I did not sell any up there because I was looking for more, but I might have just been too greedy. And maybe that 10,000 that I bought the other day, I should have got out of it. But
so let's go back to this whole 2-week moving average and 2-day moving average. I'm
well, it's not a moving average. I don't look. It's
not the 2-week lows.
Yeah, you could moving. It's kind of the same thing, but it's just a different way of looking at moving averages because it is like a moving.
So the idea there is that you want to go with the trend,
right?
So you have to measure the trend. Somehow.
You have to somehow measure the trend,
right? Somehow you have to measure the trend,
and so that's just the way that I've learned to measure the trend.
Got it. All right. Let's see. Hey, Ugly, what do you think to be long on Ethereum because they're going to move to ETH 2.0 the next month? So just a little bit of context. As far as I understand, this ETH 2.0 thing might be a fork, which means you have the old Ethereum and then you get the new Ethereum, and there's going to be a bunch of drama in there, which means you get one of each token, right? That's something I actually just did that recently with Steam, and I made like $1,000, which was kind of nice. Steam, there's this whole fork with Tron, and then the community was like, no, we don't like this, so they forked the coin and went to Hive. So all the people that had Steam tokens now have Steam tokens and Hive. So I actually bought Steam and then got the Hive and then sold Steam and sold the Hive, and so I made some money on that. But that's like,
don't ask me. I really don't know. So yeah. I look, I don't hold Ethereum. I trade it. Right. So I don't have any Ethereum. I own no Ethereum. Now there is maybe a risk there. For example, when Bitcoin Cash split from Bitcoin, it was the BCC and BSV. Greg Wright split. Yeah, BitMEX only carried one side of that thing, so I sold. Right. I sold the crap out of Bitcoin Cash. So yeah, I mean, look, that position's a loser, guys. I don't win on every trade. It's kind of just a hedge. Pull back up the
BitMEX. Okay, you got a screen share.
And let's see how the other markets are working.
You got a screen share though.
Oh, we're not a screen share. Okay.
Yeah. One day we'll probably make this screen share a little bit faster. Maybe there's a button we can push.
All right. So you got some real big problems in here. Now, we had this rally could be it. We could now have a really nice sell-off in Bitcoin. So I'm not a buyer in here at all. I mean, I'm staying with my long. There's no reason to get out. I mean, I just don't see a reason.
Are you going to put some stop losses, or are you willing?
I haven't yet. I mean, maybe I'll lighten up, but I haven't because I've got a big enough cushion. I mean, obviously, I gave up a Bitcoin while we were sitting here. I was over 6. I should have just sold everything out. But I'm not that kind of a trader. I got from 0.6 to 6 by working my way in and out of the market. I don't put all my eggs on one trade or one idea. but yeah, but that doesn't mean, can I give this all back? Yeah, I mean, I could. And
And that's you're probably gonna take out some of the account. Like once you trim.
yeah,
You get the things
I
out of
was
the account.
hoping to trim,
Yeah.
up over 8,000. And as I trim, I'm planning on taking it out. I am looking to reduce my position. I mean, obviously in hindsight, I, it'd been nice to make that little trade of the spike. And,
Mhm.
is it going, I mean,
Look at
pull it, you can
that.
pull up.
And Bitcoin wisdom again.
Yeah, well, you can probably pull up the TD and see what
Oh, sure.
we had a 9 on anything.
Let's see.
I don't have any reason to be selling this thing. So
we got the weekly here. This is XBT
okay, go.
USD.
So go to 4 hour. What's the 4 hour look like?
That's a 4, and then we got. Oh, hold up.
Yeah, I mean, what's the deal? I mean, there's nothing to panic about yet.
Yeah, we got
there's one.
3.
There's 1 hour.
On the 1 hour.
Boom.
Wow, look at that candle.
What do they have a Darth Maul thing in here? Look, that's the advantage of trimming. Had I had some orders in there, and I did have some. Actually, I had some to sell at 78.01, 79.01, and 80.01. How high did it get? What's that high on the 7? But I pulled them because I lightened up anyway. I mean, there's no magic to trading, guys. It just isn't. Okay, what is that high? Yeah, I wouldn't. The only ones I would have sold would have been 78.01. I had some 78.01, but instead of getting out of 5,000 there, I got out of 10,000 at like lower 77.1550 or something.
Stefan says there's no 9s. It's full bull.
Full bull. Okay. Well, I'm not sure it's full bull. that's
different kind of bull.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is, it's not clear to me at all. But it's not, I can sit through this. The guys that bought it, they're sitting here. I mean, do you see what we just did? Everybody that bought this, we just stopped a whole lot of people out that bought it late.
All right.
I don't have an amount. I don't quantify that. Brazuca's is asking. I wouldn't be shorting the market right now. I'd be trimming. Now I might sell more of the alts against what I have. I actually had some priced orders out there, but they're way up there. So, I mean, I don't know what the key is. The equity. I mean, if they're hitting okay, let's go back and look at the. I think this is one thing that the equity app is going to help us with substantially is, let's look at this equity box. As we were talking, this equity went up to over 6, and then it went all the way back down. I lost a Bitcoin, but now I've almost got it all back again. So it's crazy. Let's see if I can load up the equity app. I might be able to.
That's a long show right now. It's probably outdated.
No, I think I can do it. It'll take some time.
So let me get you out of screen share for now.
Okay. Yeah, because
we can keep talking. I'll keep taking some questions.
Now that's another thing too, guys. This equity app is something, it's new. I think it has a lot of promise. My good friend Victor Villicania was the one that designed it. And okay, can you know how to start it up?
I mean, I clicked it. So
you clicked it?
Yeah, I clicked it. So it might be loading. Give it a minute.
Where is it?
Yeah.
It should be on.
Well, this isn't the normal laptop we showed on. This is a different computer. This is the computer that
oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that we got to set that up for the next one. It might be outdated or something. Oh, okay. Let me see. You get back to your questions.
It might load up here. Okay, here is my. Let me type in my code.
Sure.
All right.
All right. So May will be the start of a new bull market. Get ready, folks. Says Art Aslan.
It could be. I mean, I don't know. But I'm ready for it if it is. And if it's not, I'll give up some equity and get stopped out.
Uh,
But
So
no matter what, I'm well ahead for the year. I mean, if they, whoops, no user login.
yeah, you probably don't have your data in there.
Well, it should.
Yeah, this computer, this is the one that Eddie was using. The one that,
Yeah, but it's loaded. It was the one
yeah.
that was downstairs, right? Or
No, this is the one that was upstairs in your office that Eddie uses.
Oh no, that's
Yeah, so you don't have this stuff in
no,
here.
it's not on here.
Yeah, we'll set it up for next
Okay.
round. All right. But yeah, the equity app is really cool. So it actually like charts how much equity you have or your total basically funds, which is a very interesting chart to look at.
Well, send Victor a link. He has it all loaded up.
Yeah,
He can show
exactly.
it and explain it to us. That'd be better
Right.
yet. See if you can get a hold of Victor. What time is it? He might
Well,
be
we're
free.
at, yeah, maybe Victor's time to come in. It's 6:20. We were going at about an hour now. I think we should probably do max half an hour more and
Oh, well,
keeping
contact Victor. Say, hey, Victor, you want to come on with Equity App?
all right, I'll message you on my chat. My sweet American lady, I just made me some food and it's sitting behind me.
Oh, well, then let's go. We can call it a night. We can do another one tomorrow.
All right, let's do like a really like quick sort of question and answer round. I think this is a really good live stream. Thanks everybody for coming on. Thanks for the likes. We've had a peak of 73 live like active viewers. Probably gonna get a few hundred out of this one. So appreciate your support. Ugly. I live in SD County. What are the best things to see in Ensenada?
Well, the whole town is beautiful. One of the first things you want to do is go just take a little cruise. It's like $2 to take a little boat ride around the bay. They have a good Embarcadero with some good. Well, there's one restaurant in particular that's good down there. A lot of good restaurants down here, but they're all closed. And it's also wine country, guys. This is the Mexican wine country. So there's all kinds of wineries. They call it the Ruta de Vino, and there's all kinds of wineries down here. But again, it's all pretty closed. They're restricting travel. They actually are questioning you if you're leaving the city to make sure you have, what they consider necessary business.
All right. Any other questions before we call it a day? It's been a very good. I know we didn't quite get to some of them in great detail, but maybe some other time.
Yeah, a lot of these questions.
There's one about the difference between trading with cross or a fixed leverage.
I trade with cross just because okay, guys, you can be an analyst or you can be an analyst, and I'm not an analyst. I don't think it's that important. You can do those things, but I just trade with cross and I don't have any magic formula. I know the risk that I have is whatever I have on the account. And a few times I have moved up my stops. I don't like using stops because I know how you can get filled on them. I know how you can get spiked on it. It's actually better, I think, to get wrecked because you're not going to get wrecked unless all of the indexes go to your wreck point. A spiked move, you can get stopped out, and the market never went there because people do. I mean, look, you can look at a chart. Where were the stops? Right above the highs. So what happened when we went through the stops? We spiked up. So anybody that bought that thing is, shitting in their pants right now. And anybody that got stopped out is thinking, oh no, I got stopped out and now it's going down. That's the psychology of the market. You don't want to be in that. You want to have your position before the spike. If anything, you want to be a seller on that spike. I'm a seller on up markets. This spike, I'm not a seller on.
Yeah, I really like the way you framed it yesterday. You said something like there's a lot of dilemmas in the market. The market is all it's all dilemmas. And there's some dilemmas that you really want to avoid. There's like traps you want to avoid. And one of those traps is the one that we were, in a sense, a lot of people are in right now, is that they missed the dip. And now they're thinking about buying the rally, but you're halfway through the rally. Maybe we're going to,
Well,
so
we
it's
could be,
victim.
this might be the top. It might be all the way through the rally. We don't know. We never know. But
Right.
the trend has definitely changed. I mean, look, the bottom came during extreme backwardization. It was there. If you had money on the account, you didn't have to get wrecked, or if you did get wrecked partially, you know, and you still had a balance in your account, you had an opportunity to get back in, make it all back with a smaller position. I mean, I got wrecked with 2.6 Bitcoin. I only had 0.6 in there, but I made it all back because I was able to buy it so much cheaper.
Oh,
So
did somebody willing to jump in? You talk to Victor? Tomorrow he'll come on. Okay,
who?
we'll have Victor Villacania on tomorrow.
Okay, that'd be great. Yeah. All right, tomorrow night we'll put him
cool.
on,
Right on,
and we'll.
right on.
Yeah, because we're going to be. This is going to be something too that he can explain it to you, and we'll have to load it up onto this computer. So I guess I have it on all my laptops, but just this computer we don't have
this one we don't have it. Yeah.
So
all right. Yeah. Stephen Pope says cross can give you all the upside of 100x with a controllable liquidation point. Which I think that's accurate. But.
Yeah, the whole thing is you need to get stopped out when your equity turns, or take a profit. Take a profit as your equity is getting out. If you start seeing a sharp drop in your equity, you might want to get out. You know, I don't want to give up these profits I've made. I had 6 Bitcoin. I'm willing to give a little bit. Nothing's changed. We just had a big lot of noise in this market. There's nothing that says it's going down. And so it's just that, you know, what do you do now if you bought this thing at 78.50, you're down 100 points. You know? And if you sold it up there, if I was smart enough to be trimming up there, I'd be buying it back. Wow, I just improved my position 100 points. That's how you do it, guys. But I just I don't play those little moves. I mean, you can, but that's it. So okay, good job with AMA. Well, okay, guys. All right.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
All right. Well, we're gonna get better on everything, guys. This whole thing. I mean, we're spending the money to get better. Yeah.
We're definitely improving. You know, it's like step by step, but it's definitely like it's great. Okay, good. Eddie's happy.
Yeah, and we got to set this thing up. So
yeah.
I'm sitting behind we got my desk back there, and we need to get a bigger screen above that.
Yeah,
desk,
we're gonna get you.
And then connect it. We'll talk about that when we get off here. But,
all right,
guys.
Thanks everybody for coming.
Yeah, remember, guys, if you're trying to get the newsletter, get one of these guys. Ask somebody on Twitter to send you a link. I do have my link. You can hit, you know, down there, but I'd rather you use somebody else. Let them get the discount. You get the discount if you hit mine, but
keep an eye out on the comments if somebody posts it, and there's a link on the description. There's a link on the description to all kinds of book recommendations and resources. There's a BitMakes link if you wanna help there too and get a discount. So
and I've got and I did trade on Deribit and Bybite. I have links there. I haven't posted them yet.
And check out the blog on uglyoldgoat.com. That's some of his most important articles that will kind of help you understand the definition. So
and it's all free, guys. I mean, look, all the stuff on the website, but what you get if you become a subscriber, you're going to get my entire trading history. Okay, on a CSV file. So if you're programming, you know what to do with it. It'd be very, very useful.
Do you know anybody else that does that publishes it?
And you can get the equity app and actually load my track record or anybody else's track record on it and see how it's doing. You're going to get my monthly. That's
great.
Okay, then we're going to. What else I got to say?
Well, yeah. So you get the.
You get news. Okay, you get newsletter. You get the track record, and you get the newsletter. And the newsletter comes out irregularly. Sometimes I do one twice a day. Sometimes I don't do one for 4 or 5 days. I think sometimes I've waited a week. Some of them are very thorough. Some of them are very brief. You also get these sessions that we're doing now.
Private live
They're
streams.
private. We don't do it. We open this one up to the public. So, hey, yeah, follow Ugly Old Galt on Twitter. I've read his articles. I wonder what I'm going to be. This is one thing you're going to be getting. You'll be getting, we're starting a Telegram group. We haven't figured out. Apparently, I'm going to be trading back there somehow. And we're going to work and see if I can actually do a thing where when I'm trading, you can actually see what I'm doing.
Yeah, we're going to look into like a copy paste sort of trade bot on Telegram as well.
Because I can't be trading and then tell you guys, well, I'm getting ready to do this and then be doing it. I just got to be trading.
My job is to make it so that he can do what he's best at, which is trading and helping us understand what he's doing, you know.
Yeah, because the thing that you're going to find out is I'm really not that good a trader. So you guys can be a lot better than I am, particularly you youngsters that learn all these Xbox games and stuff. I guarantee you, you just need to learn the principles involved and you can figure out and be a very, very successful trader. And you don't want to just be doing trader. Once you're a successful trader, then you want to be looking for other things to do. I mean, I'm a successful trader. And so that's enabled me to bring on Juan, who I admired for years. And now we're doing something together. We don't know if it's going to work or not. We just keep throwing Bitcoin shit against the wall, see if it sticks or not. So
that's right. All right.
That's it. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. And we will have lots of fun. And hopefully, you know, we got that other thing we need to develop too. We're going to develop the whole bailiwick, not just trading, guys. It's going to be.
That's right. We're going to merge some technical how to hodl sort of strategies that will help you secure your hodl.
Yeah, because there's a lot of this that I know I can improve on substantially, and so it's just it's just I have problems. None of this stuff is easy. I mean, it all takes time. I did these Amazon links and boy, it's a lot of work and you don't get anything for it. We've got a viable website that we need just a lot of improvements. Our payment system needs improvement. We have a lot to work, but your support keeps us going. And hopefully, I know I've saved you guys a lot of money. And I also know a lot of you guys have done very, very well since you followed me. And I really appreciate it. You encourage me when you tell me your success stories. Let us know your stories. Let us know. Tell me your success story. I may not, I see them and it really encourages me more than anything because, makes me know, hey, I'm getting, because it's a hard message to get across. It really is.
Yeah. Share this with everybody, all your trader friends, so they can sort of learn some money management and risk management in case they don't. And remember, you have an affiliate link if you're a subscriber and you get 10% of the revenue and you give people 15% off, which is a huge discount if they pay with Bitcoin. All right. I think that's it.
Yep,
hey, thanks everybody for watching and catch you on the next one.